Coming up in just a couple of weeks, Heather, Halloween time. Do you have your costume?
Oh, my costume has been ready.
She has been ready. Planned it all year, didn't you?
Well, not all year.
Yeah.
But it kind of came together at the end of July.
All right. And she's keeping it close to the vest.
Yes, I am.
Not going to tell us.
I will say this. I am going a little bit differently this year, and I'm going more fun than gore.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll find out if that's in vogue this year. Joining us on the phone, Chris Yandek, a costume expert for Wonder Costumes, and has been a professional costume expert for the largest costume company in Miami. Many years experience in the entertainment industry, and done work nationally in the media and so forth. A fashion specialist, and he's here to tell us all about how to make the best out of our Halloween costumes. And Chris, welcome to the show.
Good morning, guys, and I just want to say off the top, Heather gets a 5-star out of 5-star because most people do not prepare for their costumes early as that. Everyone usually waits till the last minute, unfortunately.
I'm a little bit of an anomaly, Chris, and I have to say that I am so envious because you sound like you have such a fun job.
Well, we do the best that we can. I have been talking about this company for about maybe 18 months, as long as I've been their media spokesperson at WonderCostumes.com. I've gone to Las Vegas to do segments for the company. I've gone to Orlando to do costumes for the company. I get to talk with you good people here today in Pennsylvania. This is actually our first Pennsylvania media appearance.
There you
We're
go.
really excited, obviously.
There you go. All right, so trendsetters here. So, all right, well, Chris, let's talk about costumes, because I think Heather makes a good point, and you do as well. You know, we wait till the last minute, and all of a sudden it's, well, I better find a bed sheet and go as a ghost, you know, kind of a deal. So
my sister's always one of those last-minute people.
Is that right? Yeah. Well, anyway, so Chris, tell us first of all, what are the popular costumes going to be this year?
Interesting to note, there's always different genres for adults or kids. So let's start with kids, and then we'll get to adults. Don't know if you guys know anything about The Descendants, this big Disney TV channel movie that was watched by like 6 million people, who was produced by Kenny Ortega, the famous music producer. But anyways, a lot of kids want to be either Mal or Evie. Girls want to, and this costume is literally flying off the shelves. It's almost impossible to get. We have WonderCostumes.com, for all the mothers listening this morning, have some limited quantities that they can go get off of our website. Minions are also very popular this year for adults and kids because of the movie Jurassic Park as well. The Avengers, Age of Ultron, Captain America, Iron Man. We have the brand new costumes for that. You know, as far as adults go this year, it's interesting as always. You know, most of the costumes are really made for the kids, so we've got all the traditionals going forward for everybody this year. So what I advise everyone to do is to think about the theme they want to be, whether it be scary or funny or sexy, you know, or something movie and trending. But, you know, it's movie costumes galore as always this year, influencing pop culture, I guess you could say. Like something random this year for adults, like something from like the TV show Seinfeld. We have the famous Jerry Seinfeld puffy shirt this year, for example, that just came out, like something very, very random. So we have that kind of stuff. You have to really go to the website and search around. There are thousands of products. Really, well, let me explain something to you guys about the costume industry. Here's what ended up happening. In February, there's this big costume convention that they hold down in New Orleans for all the costume vendors and the costume suppliers. And literally, you have to go down there and get all these catalogs and get all these books. Then you have to pick the costumes that you want to put on your website and sell to the general public. And then you have to put up descriptions, which we're working on for literally 10 months out of the year. And then finally, by the month of September, we've got all the inventory up. So it's really an amazing process of how you prepare 10 months for literally a 2-month business. But that's what we do at WonderCostumes.com. So to answer your question, you know, there's a lot of different popular things going on right now. But it really depends on what you're looking for, and there's thousands of choices. The thing is not to wait to the last minute, because what ends up happening is people are buying online more than ever, the costume industry, and there's only a few suppliers, and WonderCostumes.com is one of them. But the interesting part about that, guys, is that people buy it on October 20th. They get the costume on October 27th. It doesn't fit them, and then they want you to resolve it in 2 days, which is impossible.
Yeah, not a good idea. So planning ahead, once again, Heather, ahead of the curve you are.
Always.
Absolutely.
Always.
She's way ahead of the curve. Way ahead of the curve.
That's because
5 out of 5 stars.
Halloween is my favorite day of the year. I prepare 3 months in advance for it. It's got to be done right. It's got to be done right.
Apparently. All right, well, tell us a little bit about, since here, the safety is an issue, and I'm sure especially with children running around trick-or-treating and so forth, can you give us some safety tips to keep everybody safe, adults and children, on Halloween?
Yeah, sure. I've got a few on my list, and this is what I always say. If you're going to be taking your dog out, and you're dressing your dog out, probably don't want to go to very populated areas where there's a lot of people coming around because, things can happen, as you know. That's one. That's a big on my list.
And dogs spook very easily from costumes.
Yeah, that too also.
That's a good point.
Number two, if you're going to give your child some kind of weapons or plastic weapons that are fake swords or things like that, make sure that they can actually carry it around and it's a decent size for them. You just feel like that nothing's going to happen in that regard. That's always a recommendation. Number three, I always say this to people, make sure that the costume that you're wearing feels comfortable when you're walking around. Make sure it doesn't make you feel, uncomfortable, because you're going to have that thing on for a few hours. So that's very important as well, and make sure it fits nicely because, these things do sometimes break apart or things can't happen, obviously.
Also, I know one that they always seem to mention each year is kids who wear masks to be sure that they can still see, cars coming when they're crossing the street and things like that.
Oh, fantastic. That's a great one. I like that.
Yeah. All right, so good things. The other thing also is to be visible. Sometimes, and I've noticed more and more recently that parents are putting like reflective tape on their kids, like on their ankles or their arms, things that move and can catch a driver's eyes.
Absolutely.
So,
yeah, having light-up objects is very good and recommended. Also, I think that's a very good choice.
All right, we're talking with Chris Yandek, and we're talking about Halloween costumes, and he is representing WonderCostumes.com. Is it too early yet to tell, Chris, what is going to be the number one costume this year?
The Descendants, Mal, and Evie costumes from this Disney TV channel movie that literally just came out of nowhere. No one really knew that this was going to be like the big thing, and what ended up happening is the manufacturers have literally gotten limited quantities of these costumes, and they sold out like immediately. I guess this Disney Channel TV movie was watched by like 6 million people, as far as I could tell from the research that I did, and people are looking for this costume every day of the week and twice on Sunday. That's the Mal costume. M-A-L is the character name. And I guess what it is that based off of the research I've done, it's based off, I guess, the kids of the Disney villains.
Yep.
So this has just been a really big thing this year as far as the Descendants go. And this is the thing. Last year it was Elsa. Everyone knew it was Elsa in January. Only like in early August did anyone know that Descendants was really going to be the big thing this year. And we still have limited quantities of the stuff. Hopefully we're going to get more in, but this is the big thing this year. Again, Minions and superheroes in Jurassic Park. And Cinderella, by the way, which was a big movie earlier this year. There's a lot of different Cinderella costumes as well. Those are also right behind the pack as well.
I'm looking at your website, and I see that most of the costumes run around $30 to $50 maybe. There's some really nice ones there, and professionally designed and crafted as opposed to whatever we could come up with at home on our own. So, people say, well, I don't want to spend a lot of money for a 1 or 2 night deal, or maybe going to an office party or something. But that seems very reasonable for something that will help you stand out from the crowd.
We make a big effort to have what I like to call the cheapest e-commerce prices on the internet. We are doing that in a way to obviously draw in the local public because we'd love them to come shop with us, and we really have something for everybody. If you look hard enough on the website, you can find costumes as low as $15. But there are some theatrical costumes as well if you're one of the diehards like Heather. Literally, there are people who can spend $200, $300, and $400 on like a theatrical costume, literally.
Yeah, what I like to do is usually rather than going with the regular bag set costume, I like to buy individual pieces that I know can be reused through various costumes through the years. So I have got a
costume kit maker.
Yeah, actually, I've got one of those big blue storage tubs. We're talking like 55-gallon storage tub. that is nothing but costume pieces. So.
Well, Heather, you can see here's my choice from their website: real padded men's muscle shirt.
I can see you wearing that, Doug. That works.
It'd be the only muscle shirt with a muffin top, but other than that, looks like it's just for me. Well, Chris, we appreciate your time this morning. Everybody's excited, change of seasons and getting into the holiday season. We're starting off with Halloween, so we encourage folks to get out there and plan ahead and don't wait till the last minute.
Yeah, they can also call us at 305-COSTUME. Again, that's 305-COSTUME if they have any questions or they want one of us to help them out on what they're looking for as well.
Very good. All right, well, happy Halloween and enjoy your holiday season.
You too, Doug and Heather, and guys, it was really great speaking with you guys.
Thanks, Chris.